Ladies and gentlemen, as if there are only ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to hearts of all ages, open and closed, especially that closed one. Yeah, I can sense you. ESPU. JK. To I own you, sexy MFer. To I own you, dedicated heifer. You. To I own. Who the F do you think you even are? Honey, I don't even know. I don't even know. Daddy, everybody lies. I keep asking why. Looking in their eyes. They're not saying what they're feeling, they're lying to me. They think they're theater kids too. They don't know how much I see right through you. Where my co-regulators at? Where my co-regulators at? Where my co-regulators at? Oh, where you at though? Where you at though? Where my MF and co-regulators at though? Oh, where you at though? Where are my MF and co-regulators? Where they at though? Where they at though? Where the MF and co-regulators at though? I know y'all are on the way. I give thanks for unseen miracles already on their way. I give thanks for unseen miracles already on their way. I give thanks for unseen miracles already on their way. I give thanks for unseen miracles already on their way. I want to talk about spiritual technology. Want to tell you yours is functioning very properly. I think your spiritual tech really scared you. How naturally it came to you. It doesn't scare me at all. I love it. Okay, time to send Brandon Cece and Dacia Figueroa VIP links. And also, I'm going to take Brandon Cece's advice and do some makeup tutorials on this shit while I sing until some people come. And then I'll chit chat with my people. You know, when I first started in February, I didn't have Brandon CC or Dacia back then. And I was still doing it all the time. So, okay, hopefully that works. Hopefully that works. And I put out a video just now calling King Froglet. I had a work, I think it was a live, it's now deleted on Normal Sister Fun World. I think I titled it What's Real Anymore? And I was talking about how disconnected I felt, how disconnected I felt from reality at that point without any kind of relationships. Hi. So I was talking about how disconnected I felt, and I realized, because I think that I'm kind of a body of water. Well, I am definitely a body of water as a human being. It's like what, like 75% water. So I absorb and I reflect other people and their psychology. So I think that my feeling so disconnected from reality was sort of reflecting this disconnect and this, like, a feeling of oneself not being real. It's like a very common feature of borderline personality disorder. So I think it was kind of hi everybody, welcome. ULC, come on, ULC, come on, ULC, come on, ULC. It's gonna do some makeup. It's gonna do some waxing poetic about my heart and what's going on with my life and with my it's not a real family. I have to just sort of proclaim that to the world. I don't know if anybody else has this experience, but I'm wanting to say that this is what's happening to me, just in case there is somebody else that has this experience of being more than the black sheep of their family, being a whole different species, being more like the black sheep dog of the family. It's a joke. I fancy myself a humorist and a comic. And you can judge and evaluate that in the chat if you wish. We can spar. It'll be fun. So I guess this isn't Brandon CC and Daisha Figueroa, but hey, welcome, party down. Maybe I'm the afterglow, because I'm with a band, you know. Gonna have it all here on the way down. Yes, I am the anchor man, dining here with Son of Sam. Here too much to chat of on the way down. Way down. Way down. He knows, let's go. Way down. Way down. Way down, I know. Little Amsterdam, in a southern town. Harmony, get it on the plate, girl. Mama, keep your head down. Mama, it wasn't my bullet. No, no, don't take me back to the range. Back to the range. I'm just coming out of the cell in my brain. Don't take me back to the range. Back to the range. 'Cause girl, you've got to know these days which side you're on. Mama got shit. She loved a brown man. She built a bridge in the sheriff's bed. She'd do anything to save her man. You see, her olives, they are cold pressed, and her very best friend is no sundress. But Mama, it wasn't my bullet. No, no, don't take me back to the range. Back to the range. I'm just coming out of the cell in my brain. Don't take me back to the range. Back to the range. 'Cause girl, you've got to know these days. Yes. Hi, honey. Hey, baby. Thank you so much, Kristen Shannon. Oh my gosh, you look great, baby. Singing through the pain. Singing through the pain, Ms. Shannon. That's an Irish last name if I ever heard it. Erin go broch. Erin go broch Drefor. Drefor. Hey, babe, got a girl in the city. Hey, got a room and a place for two. Got a gold and a bond. I said, boy, you are my Fifth Avenue. Round and around I go. Round and around this time for keeps. Round and around I go. Round and around this time for keeps. Father, only you can save my soul. Playing that organ must count for something. For something. Girl, you've got to know these days. Amsterdam shut down today. They buried her with a butterbean bouquet, and the sheriff now, he can ride away. Like he said, into the sunset. And I won't say that he shouldn't have paid, but Mama, it wasn't my bullet. Thank you. This is sort of like an imaginary spiritual airport, if you want to call it that. Air transit. It's like a lounge. It's like an air transit lounge in the spiritual realm. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. It's my little space. I sing songs and I create a mood and a vibe. I just want to say, Christian Shannon, I love you. And I think you're awesome. Thank you for the smiley face and the thumbs up. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the words of encouragement. I'm all about sonic healing and shit. You know, I really believe that singing raises the vibrational frequency of everything, my body, the space, the molecules around me. It raises the vibrational frequency, which is cool because that accelerates healing and shit, and brings forth a mood of ultra nonviolence, which is peace. If you think about it, ultra nonviolence. We don't talk about it enough in this Western culture, the concept of ultra nonviolence. This culture is so steeped with ultra violence. Look around. I know we used to make fun of my mother. She was kind of a fuddy-duddy, like Looney Tunes commercials. I mean, Looney Tunes cartoons. You know, the anvil, the cat, and the bird. She was just pointing out and observing and noting the ultra violence in children's entertainment. She's really not wrong. Oh my gosh, Christian Shannon says, thank you for what you do. That is so kind of you to say that. You are so welcome. You are so, if you feel so inclined, feel free to hit that like, like give my little live a little bit of love and attention here. Feel free. If you're brand new to my channel, it used to be Normal Sister Fun World. Normal Sister Fun World was murdered. Thank you so much. Mwah. You are such a gem. You are such a precious gem. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you coming around. If you're brand new, welcome. Welcome. The Ultimate Loving Circus welcomes you in her loving embrace forever. There's no judgment or anything. Come as you are, like really like how churches say, but like for real, come as you are. It's like more than non-judgmental. I want to see how wild you've maintained yourself in this culture that wants to tame everything and wants to cut everything down and make everything so controlled and make everything a zoo. So welcome, and feel free to subscribe. And I put things out every single day. I'm all about pro-womanism, Afrocentrism. I'm all about like self-empowerment and healing and not being an abuser, like empowering consummate victims, say. It's painful. It's painful, and there's a lot of loss, and there's a lot of grief, and there's a lot of heartache and loneliness being a consummate victim. But I peeped this the other day. And I wrote it down, and I want to read it. I want to read it to you. I wanted to read it to you, Drafor, my sister, Christian, with a K, German. The consummate victim cannot be the abuser, right? If I'm forever the victim, I'm definitely not the abuser. Therefore, the victim wins. Without question. So that's beautiful. That's like a Cinderella story. That's beautiful. So I'm kind of going through a lot and like rebuilding my YouTube channel. It's really cool. I feel like it's a social movement. I don't know if you saw my interview on Soft White Underbelly, but I did this interview. I'm a radical pro-womanist and an Afrocentrist. Mark titled it a leftist rant. I wouldn't have titled it that. It's his work. So he's entitled to title his work whatever he chooses. I think that he was trying to sort of bring about a sort of politically polarizing effect. And okay, oh my gosh, thank you. That is so cool. Okay, so you know about the Soft White Underbelly. Okay, that is so wonderful. That really, I keep telling myself, like through this loss of Normal Sister Fun World, which really is so sad and so unnecessary. But it's also, I know it's part of a whole larger story. It's like a saga, and it's very ancient Gaelic, and I think that it's Lithuanian. I think it's mad Lithuanian too, and it's cool. It's cool because I'm realizing a lot of truths that I was sort of in denial. Like I was sort of like telling myself that those truths weren't really true because I was I was the consummate victim of like toxic abuse. My sister, in her untreated mental illness, was projecting like all of her paranoia and her fears and all of her shit onto me. Like I'm looking at it now, like she went off and like didn't really do much. Like I was always kind of like, okay, what can I do? You know, like I always had like regular jobs to support my dreams of my art, always trying to perform at little open mic nights ever since I was like 18 years old. Always just kind of been like this natural performer, not trying to seek fame, but just because I love to do that. I love to commune with an audience and sing to people and communicate with people that way. It's really healing for me. It's really beautiful for me. It feels like part of my purpose of being here on this earth. And so I am kind of like going through all these years in my mind and in my memory. I'm like, Claire, you've been the one that's been like steadfast and like earnest in your work, and you maintained relationships, you maintained jobs. It's hard. It's hard, you know? And it's hard when you've got people kind of working against you, you know? I didn't realize just how much sort of like the gossip and that sort of like really negative energy can really impact a person so subconsciously. And so it's really something. It's really, really something. But yeah, she was just saying, oh, yeah, we've got this, web design business and we can work from home. It's so cool and everything. She lied to me about how much money they made. She was not being real. She was not being real. And she was not being smart about her budget and about her money and shit. And she wasn't telling anybody. You know, like all of her behavior is so like a symptom of severe mental illness. Being so far away from everybody, not telling anybody what's going on in your house and with your business and with your marriage and with your kids. Not me. She didn't tell me it. She wasn't talking to me at all about anything. But she was always like putting the attention on me, like saying I was the one with all the problems, but she was just straight projecting. I'm sorry. It's so at the forefront of my mind because I'm like just new out of all of this. I don't know if you have experience with like an abusive dynamic, an abusive family of origin, but I'm just realizing somebody commented in the soft white underbelly, like, yo, like, she seems like a huge, like did something happen? Like, did her whole family get killed in like some kind of like a big train accident or something? Like they were commenting that I struck them as a survivor, like a huge survivor of some kind of huge trauma. And they're onto something. They're onto something. Like I came from a really fucked up, dysfunctional, abusive, alcoholic, uh, toxic. I don't even, I don't even want to call it that beautiful F word that brings everybody so much comfort and joy and everything, because it was not that for me. It was not. It was like just a system of like toxic abuse. I'm not trying to like be like all crying all over, but when I feel my victimhood, I honor it. I don't live in victimhood or anything, but I'm in it right now, honey. And as your Drafor, I kind of want to talk about Aaron Gobrach and Molly Shannon. I fucking love Molly Shannon so much. I don't know if you are like a big comedy fan. I'm a huge comedy fan. I'm so excited about you. Miss Shannon. And thank you so much for you didn't get to see, I'm guessing you didn't get to see any kind of content from Normal Sister Fun World at all. There were some hilarious ass moments on lives. There was this biology student from India. He was 18. His name was Krishna. And he was talking about like, I want a career, I want a career as a biology teacher. Do you think that I could get a job in America? And I was like, Krishna, I was like, if you really want to go somewhere with the field of biology, here's what we're going to do, Krishna. I've been asking Jeff Bezos to help me with this, but he's not going to help me. Okay, you and me, Krishna, we're going to be grassroots. Hear me out. Human photosynthesis, Krishna. So it settles up the food shortage problem in the future. Plus, we'll have this new wave of wonderful, beautiful, brownish green and green toned skin. It'll be like Predator in reverse. We can disguise ourselves from the AI. That's good. And then he commented, it happens in plants only. And I was like, I know it happens in plants only right now. That's why I'm saying human photosynthesis. Open your mind, Krishna. It's Easter. It was so funny. Christian. So, yeah. So, Normal Sister. But you know what? Wherever I go, that hilarious spirit goes with me. So it's not like Normal Sister Fun World is dead, or that spirit is no longer, because I'm still here. Wherever toe I am goes, miracles abound. And I'm not being an arrogant asshole. It's just fucking true. Well, I am just honored. To have you here. What are you all into? Are you like into counterculture shit, politics, social engineering, and like the state of the world, and like fucking social media and how it manipulates whole swaths of people into supporting and normalizing rape culture? And we're like, what the fuck? As highly sensitive people. Yeah, I'm like realizing it's like the highly sensitive people who have maintained that through it all, who are actually like the fucking most strongest made of steel people on earth. And then the desensitized who think it's totally cool that like a total rapist is the representative of this. Like, that's not embarrassing. Like, that's so much better than an African American and Indian American woman who was like the smartest. Like, have you seen the debates between Harris and Trump? And just she laid out numbers, she laid out whole strategies for rebuilding communities, people who are supporting their adult children going to med school and law school and higher degrees and shit like that. Like she's thinking about things like that and how to, get people's health insurance, like health insurance. She's talking about all this shit that's real. She has this whole like a vision, and it's beautiful. It's like, it sounds amazing. Like, I know it can't go exactly like that. Of course, like everybody has their say and everybody votes and everything. But that's like the general direction and that's the general vision, right? And then they go to him and he says, I have a concept of a plan, y'all. And that's like nothing. Like that's nothing. He's just saying, I have a concept of a plan. So that says to me, you don't have anything. No, you don't. No, you don't. You are the plan is to keep everybody distracted while the corporations just eat up all the resources and destroy the earth and like just make all the money. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a jokey joke. I mean, I don't know why I complain so much. We've all heard the expression probably every single day of our lives. Life isn't fair. Life simply isn't fair, Claire. Haven't you learned by now? Radical acceptance. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. With the 4-H. And the butter sculptures and shit. It's circus. Life is circus. It's good to talk about those sorts of things. Thanks, babe. Yeah, I'm all about like free speech. I'm all about like being vulnerable and just being open. It's almost therapeutic. It's definitely therapeutic. I'm actually trying to get this shit out of the privacy and confidentiality of therapy because I really think that keeping it in perpetuates the abuse. Because it's normalizing the abuse. You're going to that therapy, you're telling all your little secrets and shit and keeping it behind closed doors still. So that's my new theory. Wasn't able to enjoy normal sister fun world. NSFW, not safe for work, normal sister fun world. So cute. I did that. Oh my God, I made it so beautiful too. It started out with me and my sister, my sister and I starting that channel, and I am also the subject of a viral video. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm the subject of a viral video where it's really complex and really nuanced and shit. The basic theme of the viral video is punish the woman, social death to the woman, take the woman away from her home and from her child. She's insane, put her in a mental institution. But a lot of people in the comments, like apparently like tens of thousands of people really saw my humanity and were like, wait a minute. This is like some more than meets the eye kind of shit. So a lot of people showed their support and like saw me and they were like, wait, it's like, I understand there's like elements of like mental illness that are going on here, but also like, don't you see that like she's like really for real? She's like really trying to like really tell somebody, like she's really actually going through something real. She's not just imagining this shit. So people saw that. That's when I kind of realized that I have this like ability for spiritual technology. I can like really communicate my soul, the truth about me and my heart to people through cameras and shit. It's kind of exciting. I know it's kind of weird. I hope you can dig it. Not super into politics. Worried about how unsympathetic and empathetic, like the normalized rape culture, the normalized ultraviolence. Okay, cool. Yeah. stick with me because I'm really cultivating a culture of ultra nonviolence in my life, in myself, everything around me. It's like the hardest shit to do in this culture. It can be done though. It's lonely. It's lonely at first, but that's what I'm trying to do with this, is have this grassroots community of real ass, highly sensitive, vulnerable people that know their spiritual tech skills and aren't afraid to use them and talk about them. And I've been through so much social punishment and so much social ridicule at this point. It's almost like I'm immune to it. I really feel like I'm made of steel as a comedian. Like I could have the whole world like booing me and throwing rotten tomatoes at me, and I'd still be like, yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. I'm going to try again. This is like an off day or whatever, which is so cool. That's so cool that that's my attitude and that's my spirit. I feel really good. Yeah. Not everybody, honey, not everybody. Not I, not you, obviously, not you. So that's not everybody, baby. Not Brandon Cece. He's like my spiritual family. Holla. Holla, Brandon Cece. I fucking love you. Not Daisha Figueroa. She's so sensitive and she's so young and she's like really out in society. She's a line cook at Olive Garden, you know, front lines. I try to be funny. I'm grieving Normal Sister Fun World. You'll probably find me kind of talking about her. Her name's Norma Jean. She was a little 15-month-old digital baby daughter. So cute. So fancy. Context is super important. Glad others took the time to understand and learn about you. Me too. I've had good friends. I've had good friends my whole life. I'm so lucky for that. I had a friend since 5 years old. Kindergarten. We were in the same kindergarten class. Friends. Sleepovers. Our whole lives. Everything. We went to our senior prom. We were each other's dates for our senior prom. When was the last time I talked to him? I just talked to him the other day. I think it was on a Sunday. You know, I'm so lucky. And he does know me. And he knows my family too. But it's sort of like for both of us, sort of coming to this realization, like the real severity of it. So I think that we were both kind of in this sort of haze of denial. Like it really wasn't as bad. Like I was normalizing it, you know, like it really wasn't as bad as all that. Like I'm sure some people have it way worse. No, it was really bad. It was really bad. Like major financial abuse. And like they like wanted to like relinquish their parental rights when I was like a teenager, you know, like I was almost gone from their house, but they were like trying to like get rid of me like before then and shit. That's bad. That's bad. I don't think that that's normal for girls, especially girls that are, you know, like me. I was complex, you know, like, yeah, I was getting into trouble as a teenager and stuff. I was getting into trouble and rebelling, you know, rage against the machine. Yeah. But also, I was doing really good things in school. I was doing really cool things in my little teenage world and shit. So it's not like I was just like fucking off and like ruining my family and shit. Especially like when my sisters had like my oldest sister took such advantage and such like there was such like abuse sort of like from her like as an adult like back at my mother like like living at an apartment building. My mother is the owner of an apartment building, like living in one of the apartments for free and like racking up the phone bill, like being on like party lines and shit, like really exploitive and like really irresponsible and shit. So my mom went through that with her first daughter, her first child and everything, and like endured that, but like was gonna like cast me out, like to make sure that I didn't do any shit like that. But I've never been like that. I've never been like that. I think my mother has like a mental illness about a like a suspicion about me. Like there was like this vibe in my house that I was like this like bad seed, that like I inherited all the mental illness. And so they just like put that on me. But like, I think there's more evidence to support that I'm mentally well and I'm mentally fit than there is evidence to support that I'm mentally ill. I think any of the evidence to support that I'm mentally ill is kind of really highlighted by my mother, my father, my older sister, Emily, who are like deep in their mental illness, which involves me. It's really interesting. I'm going through so much and I just feel so fortunate to be able to have this opportunity to sort of process it publicly and shit. I don't think a lot of people would really do this. I think it's cool as shit. I feel honored. I feel really honored. I don't think to really look at me and stuff and kind of see my mental attitude and shit, like just how fucked up and abusive my upbringing and my early adult life was too. My sister was abusing and exploiting me, and all the while saying our mother had broken the cycle of abuse. It was like this fucked up shit. She's trying to normalize her abuse and make herself the mentally healthy one, and our mother the mentally healthy one, contrasted against me and the rumors that they cast on me, the slander that they cast on me. It's really interesting. I never saw it so clearly until I did my talk. That's why I just think life is so amazing the way it unfolds. And like I do just want to say that about my talk and everything. It really is a social experiment. It really is a social experiment in real time. Had a whole discussion with Mark about the incendiary nature of my approach and my delivery. That in good company, a white woman, like of a certain social strata and like a certain education level, like really should not be like talking about any of that shit. Keeping her mouth fully shut in this Eurocentric, hypermasculine, toxic, abusive ass patriarchy. But I'm not, because this is what I do. I'm here to bust up the dysfunctional systems. And I'm here to say, y'all have been socially engineered to fear and hate and be suspicious of women. Y'all are incriminating a totally innocent woman that you don't know and protecting a fucking rapist and saying a rapist is cool, and you like the rapist. You trust the rapist. What the fuck?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for relating. We've all been through some shit, haven't we? If we haven't, I'd say we are so privileged. We are so privileged. I want to say, how did you not go through any shit? Were you putting everybody else through shit? Is that how you didn't go through any shit? Because that's fucked up. That means you're an abuser. Not you, Christian. I just riff. You know? We've all gone through that's what life is. Row, row, row your boat gently down the river of shit. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream and shit. The shit river. That sucks. It kind of is. Life's a shit sandwich. You either eat it or you go hungry. Sometimes that kind of is the vibe, and like it's bad news. I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't. I think that I present an image of like a very toxic, evil hearted cunt features devil bitch from hell. Like I present that image, but really I'm a sweetheart. I'm like Miss America, sweet as pie on the inside. And so it's like confusing. People are like, wait, what? Who is that florid love, a woman making fun of me? Who is a florid love, a woman shining back at me? Who is a florid love, a woman till I don't know about it? Who the fuck is toe? Why do you not know about it? Who is toe? With florid love, a woman daddy. Toe florid love, a woman from the bayou. Won't deny you. From the swamps, doing those gravesite stomps, so scary. Hurricanes and lightning storms in the sky, green sky. That's my vibe, it's not for everyone. Oh my god, hey! Normal sister fun world, normal sister fun world. Woo woo, choo choo. Daisha. Normal sister fun world roll call. A Christian, meet Daisha Figueroa. She is a friend that I made, a real ass friend that I made in this, just like you. And Daisha, this is Christian. Christian came from the soft white underbelly and did not ever see anything from Normal Sister Fun World. So this is amazing. So this is now we're gonna have people that only know me from the soft white underbelly interview and don't have any memories of Normal Sister Fun World shit. So I kind of redid. Remember when I said to Krishna the human photosynthesis? I kind of was telling Christian about that. You are so sweet. Yes, you too. You two make friends. See, Christian's talking about like the vibe of like how everybody's sort of just like desensitized and shit. And so I'm saying, not here, man. Not here. We're highly sensitive. We know it, and we provide that. We provide that. We provide that space for other people to be highly sensitive and be safe in that and be like really cool in that. Because that's where true creativity and healing happens. When you're vulnerable, sensitive. Daisha knows all about it. Daisha knows all about it. We made friends. Daisha commented like really, really, really insightfully and really like critical thinking. Like I could see that she was a philosopher and she was really like a very thoughtful person in her comments. I was talking about Marilyn Monroe filming that iconic skirt blowing scene from the 7-Year Itch, being a newlywed with Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio, that's his home city, New York City. He kind of is a prince of New York. Okay. He's mad jealous and like possessive because like to him that's like his wifey, you know, that's his pussy in his world or whatever. That's Joe DiMaggio's pussy. That's Joe DiMaggio's pubis. He wishes, you know, he's like, can you get all these crowd of people everywhere? Can you get them all out of here and stuff? But it's so funny because that's like the whole thing is that the moment, the reason the whole crowd is her, like she's the magic, she's the electricity, she's the one that draws huge crowds and shit. That's what she does. That's what she loves. She probably loves the attention and the adoration and the love from those crowds of strangers more than the love that she has from her legal husband, her betrothed, Joe DiMaggio. I don't know. I don't know the inside of Marilyn Monroe's heart and psychology, but it kind of seemed that way. She wasn't like, oh, what is my darling husband saying? Everybody go away. Okay, bye, everybody. She wasn't doing that. She was like really in the moment. She was like really having so much fun. So Daisha really commented on like what a cool businesswoman she was and how she really did. Because I was saying she really did credit the American public for her massive success, her massive commercial success. She credited how much the American public embraced her with how much Japan embraced. Like Japan, if America loved Marilyn Monroe, I'm telling you, Japan worshipped Marilyn Monroe 100,000 times more than the vibe in America. Thank you so much for that second like. Mwah, mwah. I like you too. And I love that people love it when I start talking about pop culture and Maryland and history and shit. It's so cool. And also the friendship between American women, Claire Hanlon and Deja Figueroa, about that kind of shit, you know, about like pro-womanism and the patriarchy and art, you know. So anyway, Daisha commented really thoughtfully about Marilyn and just like kind of like expanding, because you know how I talk in Soft White Underbelly, I talk about how Marilyn was so sexualized, and that's kind of like in a lot of ways in this society that's all she could ever be is just a sex fantasy for white men. Okay, do you know what I mean? That's not what she was at all. You know, like if she was so funny and so smart. So smart. So smart. People don't know. People do not know. She read all the time. She was talking about Dostoevsky. She just wanted to read Russian philosophers. What? And like politics, like Marx and shit. She was like interested in like what's communism, what's socialism. What? That is so cool. That's so cool. She, you know, other actresses were not thinking about any of that shit. You know, she was so different. She was so different. Nobody knows that shit about her. So Daisha and I bonded. Daisha and I bonded over like that, just like that goddess that's so just like taken for granted, dismissed, that whole vibe. And it's like the same with Holy Mother Earth. You know, it's like that same, like she's everything. She's so everything and more. And people just spit on her and just They don't even see. The last time I got down and laid down on the ground, I was like, you smell so good. Seriously, she does. And just like, that's just like dirt. I wasn't even in any kind of special place. I was just I was just in a public park and it was just like a grassy, dirt. Smelled so good. Laying there doing my meditation. It was like a creative visualization meditation where I laid down, like face down. I put my head in my hands so it's not like my head was like in the dirt or anything, but like I was really up close and it really was. It felt so clean. I made sure there was no anthills, but it was like it felt really clean, just smelled so good. It was so peaceful. And I just imagined my heart opening up, all my pain and my heartbreak and my heartache and my grief and my torment, my shame, my fear, just all that shit, all that waste emotion shit. She loves it. She loves it. It's like fertilizer. So she's pulling it out. She's pulling it out. She's like releasing me of it, because she can do something with it. I've just got it, I've just got it in my body. I'm just like feeling it and experiencing it. She can actually do something with it. So I open up to her and I let her work her magic on me and my psychology and my soul and shit. I really believe in that. I really believe in that kind of energy work. And I think that kind of shit is totally concealed and like hidden. And like people are like, nah, 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 don't trust any of that bullshit because it's the real shit. And like study like indigenous North Americans and the way that they sort of felt about this land herself and the vortices and all that shit. Like I'm telling you, there's so much knowledge, there's so much information, just like, and it's hidden. It's hidden on purpose. I know, I sound like some kind of a crazy conspiracy theorist. I'm not. OG is in the heavens like, speak it, bitch. No, for real. For real. Cave woman bimbo savant. Cave woman and cavemen bimbo savants everywhere know all about being underestimated as some, mindless little sex doll. We know all about that. But it really does put us in a place of great advantage. It really does. Because it's like, oh, you thought? You thought we were playing Twister and we're actually playing Russian roulette. No, that's in the Ultimate Loving Circus. Russian roulette, Lithuanian roulette. That is so fucking funny. We have to think of a different Lithuanian love bombing. That is fucking hilarious. That's really beautiful. Never thought about meditation in that context. The creative visualization. Dude, I am so glad that you're here. This is like how I work. I'm a registered yoga teacher, honey. It's really funny. In my live last night, I was kind of going over like my life and shit. Why I made the moves that I made, in in 2000 I was so like fresh and young. Like I wore very little makeup and I really kind of highlighted my brows. I feel like it's a very like millennial sort of makeup look. Oh, I was gonna do some makeup. I was gonna do some makeup on my live and shit. I thought that would be kind of fun. but yeah, I did bold eyebrows, and I had very straight long hair, and I was very minimalist. I really liked my linen, my A-line linen sleeveless dress. And I like the idea of less is more. I wear a G-cut bra, and my frame, I'm 5'5.5", and I'm a petite frame. Like around my weight range, it's like, like 130, 135, like usually like somewhere around there. So like I'm like really busty. I have like really huge tits. So that's what I mean when I say less is more. Like I would wear like really cute, sort of like form-fitting sweaters. Do you see what I mean? Like it would cover my whole body and everything, but it was form-fitting. So you could see my physique, see my form. I'm wanting to talk about this because I've always kind of been, I realize that I've always kind of branded myself. And I've always kind of thought of myself as sort of like a public figure. It's sort of a Toayom thing with me. I do kind of psych myself out. And I don't think that there's anything really wrong with that. I think a lot of performers kind of do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, fourth viewer, for joining. So I really love my linen, very minimalist look. I love my linen A-line, and it went all the way down to my ankles, So it's not like I was showing off my body, but it was kind of attention getting at the same time. It's really cool. I would wear these cool boot cut jeans and these really cool high boots. So it was a really neat look, kind of sophisticated, kind of European, kind of French. I felt like I was like kind of repping, I don't know, just sort of this like minimalist style, the eyebrows. And like sometimes I would wear like a deep lip, like not glossy, but more like a stain. So cool. And I went off to the boundary waters of Canada. And I was up in this little tiny town where, like, in the summertime when people vacation up there, it's like 1,500 people. It's like the maximum. There's a little community college. I went to the community college there. I did like little open mic nights. I worked as a little food server, a little waitress. I was at a little coffee shop and shit. I kind of feel like maybe around that time, Emily did say something so nice to me. She was like, like thinking about you and like your acting abilities and like your performing abilities and stuff. Like you could compete with Jennifer Aniston. When I watched Jennifer Aniston on Friends, Claire, it's like I could see you like saying her lines. You're just as pretty as she is. You're just as funny. You're just as talented. You're just as good at like acting and doing all that stuff. That was so nice of her. That was so nice of her. I think Jennifer Aniston is so awesome. I think she's so funny. I think she's so beautiful. So that was like so nice that Emily was like, you could easily do that. But I've kind of always kind of had this like kind of anti-Hollywood kind of vibe. Like I've always said, I want to go to London and go to the Globe Theater and like hang out with those kind of theater people, and Paris and like hang out with the Dadaists and like the street clown people in Paris and shit. Or like I want to go to like Istanbul, like India, and like do like sort of like a caravan, like outdoor theater, like Burning Man, like original Burning Man. Because that's where that all comes from, is like ancient times when it was more like wampum, especially for people like me, like artists, like political activists. It's more like a wampum kind of life where you were sort of supported by the public. A public sort of supported the artist. It still kind of works like that, sort of, but the artist is kind of owned by the entertainment industry and the companies, the record companies, the labels. It didn't used to be like that. I'm kind of wanting to be more in that vibe, like Wakanda. That's why I say like Wakanda, Atlantis forever. I love y'all. The minimalist sort of that look. And thank you for saying that I should put some makeup on, honey. Yeah, let me do a fancy face. Let me do a fancy face. And I just want to say, like, thank you to Brandon Cece. He said, you know, get that compact out. Be like looking in that compact and be doing makeup and stuff. It's kind of like a signature thing for me, he says, which I think is really cool. I guess it's kind of like the news anchor during commercial breaks, sort of touching up her face and shit. Right? Like those like sort of like moments where the camera's not on you and you're being really honest, for real, and insecure. Let's do some makeup magic. Yeah, so I've kind of always had this sort of anti-Hollywood. I don't think that Hollywood is like really alluring and cool and stuff. Kind of feel like it's like the opposite. I kind of feel like it's like soul sucking and like vampiric, sort of hell dimension sort of shit. It's not appealing to me as an artist and as a performer. Hollywood. What's that Madonna song? Everybody comes to Hollywood. How could it hurt you when it looks so good? Shine your light now. This time it's got to be good. Get it right now. Yeah. 'Cause you're in Hollywood. You're in Hollywood. You're in Hollywood. I was kind of thinking, Deja, sort of a fantastical sort of look. A sort of futuristic sort of look. And futuristic, to me, is primal. Wow. So maybe I'm going for an ancient look. This is some primer. And I think it has some SPF in it too. Whoa Glow 30 broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen, sun protection, and makeup primer. That's how I roll. That's how Toayom rolls. Premature aging due to sun damage because I didn't use SPF, a simple thing that I can do every morning. Not on my one. You need SPF protection if you're going to be coming up in that sunshine state, daddy. I had another fair-skinned girlfriend in my high school, and we made a pact to not tan. And we were really cute. We were really cute at the pool and at the beach. You know, you would see like a little gaggle of cute 15, 16-year-old teenage girls. Sunglasses, books, smelling like coconut oil, banana boat, all oiled up, getting brown, soaking up that Florida sun. Then there at the very end, completely covered in towels, the lumps of two fair-skinned teenage girls who were cute and who said, we're going to be different because we like it that way. And it worked for us. It worked for us. You know? Everybody was always telling me I needed a tan. I was like, why? Why can't I just be alabaster like OG and like Madonna? Have you ever seen Madonna? Have you ever seen how fair-skinned she is? Have you ever seen that she like does not tan? I can do that too. I don't have to be tan to be real cute. I can be fair-skinned and say toot toot. 'Cause I like myself like this. And men seem to like it too. I'm going through this whole thing, Daisha, with my heart. Who is this Toium of whom you speak? Do you like acronyms? I like how you think. The one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe, that's her. Toium, who the fuck do you think she is? Toium, who is Floylova, woman who is Toium, who is Floylova, woman. I'm the one and only Floylova, woman. I'm the one and only unknown Marilyn. I am the one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe. Hello. Yep. That's who I am. The one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe. Thank you so much for asking. I fucking love talking about it. I think it's the coolest art concept on the block, Christian. Oh my God. Thank you, girl. Mark was like, nobody's going to understand what the fuck that is. I was like, you know who's going to fucking understand? The kids. The kids, you old fuddy-duddy. Mark Leta. I'm just kidding, Mark Leta. You know I fucking love you forever. I think it is so cool that you're 100% Lithuanian. Let's talk about the possibility of her Hearth-made space program. And I want to talk to some Lithuanian astrophysicists about sibling rivalry, BO, black magic. Like her hatred for me worsened my BO is what I'm saying. I'm posing a like a spiritual biological body science theorem. Who is this Toium of whom you speak? I don't know, but her eyebrows shower on fleek. Who is this Toium? This loyal of a woman. You know a loyal of a woman sure can analyze. He's alive. Fantasize and memorize. Harmonize. Life is art, Christian. Dig it. Art is life. Yeah, but before anybody came in here, I love you. Oh my God. Daisha, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. My whole ass, shattered ass, broken ass heart is all right the fuck here. That is so fucking cool. My yoga teacher, at the beginning of every class that I ever went with her in it, she would say, you know, our eyes are closed, just like rest into your breath and completely relax. Gather up the scattered pieces of yourself with every inhalation. I was like, gather up the scattered pieces of myself. I never fucking thought about that, but that is so fucking true. So then I like kind of started to do that like outside of yoga classes, and it's really fucking cool to like have my whole heart like right here experiencing all of that. It's intense and everything. It's not for the faint of heart. That's funny. I am the one and only unknown, thanks to you. Why do you envy me? Why can't my divinity be true to you? Why am I just the crazy one? I'm having fun. Don't make fun of the only one who's unafraid to shine in the sun. I'm not the only one. I know why a caged bird sings. Okay, I understand everything now. Holy cow. Not bragging, but I sure can't survive. Sure can't visualize. Sure can bring myself out of dangerous situations, out of peril. That sounds like a superhero to me. Holy shit, what have I become? I love her. She's so cool and dependable. Her family hates her. There's some abusers, so that's a good sign to her. I said in a video that I released, I put it out. I recorded it. It's like me. It's like me in my darkest moment, and it's so fucking cute. Like, I think that's cool, Daisha. Girl, I feel you. No, I don't know if you saw my little video. I was like, even if my sister doesn't come, I guess we were trying to do some kind of a Zoom call like in the middle of the night. I was like, even if she doesn't come, this is still art. It's really funny, and I'm like, I feel aged today. It happens. Oh well. I've been living hard. It's funny. It's a funny little video. But like, yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, that's me. Like, like at whatever, like my darkest moment, like my shameful, sinful moment at like 4 a.m. And I'm being so fucking cute. I'm eating some overpriced ramen, and it's actually really delicious. Spicy. And then I talk about my love for spicy food. I'm not like blackout drunk and like talking about how my mother never loved me and I just want to die. You know what I mean? I'm just like kind of like being like funny and like being goofy and like saying it's almost 420, and I'm like, does it mean anything anymore, all my people? Or is it just something that we do just to kill the pain? So like, I like my new shit. It seems like my new shit is like an even more cool foundation than what Normal Sister Fun World, because Normal Sister Fun World was like, I realized in a way from her, that was some false ass shit. She was trying to normalize her dysfunction and her abusive. Like in Sister Sister Choo Choo, she wrote down some fucking speech and she was like, I just want to say, like, I recognize and I realize that I'm hard on Claire. No, she's not hard on me. She's abusive. She's abusive to me. And like she's trying to, with that, saying she's hard on me, she's trying to normalize abuse. So like Normal Sister Fun World started out with some fake ass shit. So now that's all over. I love spicy food. So, girl, I cannot wait until you're around. I cannot wait until you're around. Girl, I was talking about you before you came. It was really funny. I was talking about like how you were a highly sensitive person and you were like so like out in the world. I was like, you know, she's managed to maintain her sensitivity and her vulnerability and like her curious childlike mind in all of this ultra violence bullshit. She's a line cook at the Olive Garden, if that gives you any idea. You know, you're like a fucking cosmonaut soldier, in Towyom's opinion. Oh, and Christian, I want to tell you too, like, Daisha and I have this total Maryland connection too. And like, it's so cool too, because I've been calling myself the one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe. Like, that's like what I've been, because like I've been like out of like the public eye, but you know, like low key, like in my little circle, I'm a motherfucking superstar. I think anybody can kind of dig that. So, and Daisha is so sweet to me. Like Daisha is so sweet to me. She like validates me in a way that nobody else in my life, like even like my best friends and stuff. She validates me and gets what I'm doing and gets my art in like a way that nobody else in my life ever has. And I feel like the same way about her. Like I see her so clearly. And so it's just amazing. And I really feel like this whole project that I'm doing and like my whole art is like all it's all, and like I really feel like Christian now too. You're like all part of it too. So I'm really excited about that. And it's cool to talk about how Daisha and I, like Daisha, you know, like we became friends. We were talking on the phone. She had this whole dream where OG Marilyn paid her a visit. And I really do believe that like when you dream about people that are real, I really do believe that Marilyn Monroe, the spirit of Marilyn Monroe, really did visit Daisha Figueroa on that dream plane. And anyway, she was trying to communicate to Daisha, but there was no voice. It was very dreamlike, you know, like she's really trying to deliver a message. Daisha can tell that she's really urgent. It's like really important, but there's no sound, very dreamlike, you know, she can't understand the words. And I said, Daisha, like you have this like this Maryland connection with you and like your love and stuff. And I was like, you know, like I'm Towyom. Like I've been calling myself the one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe for like years. It's like been a whole like art concept in my life and stuff. She was like, I know. She was like, I saw in your soft white underbelly when you're singing and you say the one and only unknown Marilyn Monroe is singing to the president. Like I was like, oh my God. Like I was so hoping that like somebody would like fucking, she got it. And then that bitch said that I was like Marilyn Monroe. And I was like, oh my God, but you're the one with the Marilyn Monroe beauty mark, you big cutie. And you are so sweet. And you're like Marilyn Monroe because you're so wonderful and so deep and seductive and sexy, but also so innocent. And so, you know, so like blameless, like you're not like some kind of seductress or anything. It's sort of like you're like so sweet about like, you know, you're not even like kind of like arrogant about all your power. You know, it's sort of like you're kind of unaware of your own power, and that makes you even so much cooler. Yeah. I love women, Christian. Like, I'm just a huge pro-womanist. Not that I don't love men. I love men too. I love dick. I just don't love rapists. I want to make a t-shirt, you know? And like, I love real men. And like, I worship real men that protect women and honor women and respect women at just like the bare, that's just like the base. That's just like the base level, you know, just like dignity, respect, protection, defense. You know, that's just like the bare minimum if a man's going to be around me. And I don't think that it's bad of me to like draw those boundaries and to make those rules and to have that personal power and that agency. That's fucking good. That means I'm a strategist. This flying love a woman show can strategize, can analyze, can visualize, can publicize. I will not radicalize behind hazel eyes. To be a radical pro-womanist is not to be radicalized. I say that the radicalized are the ones that blindly support this normalized rape culture and this like normalized fascism. That's the radicalized. And I see so much of that. Like, it's just normal. And I speak up against it, and they think it's so normal to like verbally abuse me and punish me, just like play out the social programming and the social engineering. Just waiting for you to catch yourself and be really embarrassed about like how mindless you are and how easily manipulated you are and how powerless you are. Just waiting for that. I'm not going to laugh at your face either. Like, I'm cool. I don't know why you hate me so much. I think that you hate parts of yourself that I remind you of. Ladies, can I just say I love you? I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how it's possible. I just have like a never-ending unconditional love for you. And like whatever hard thing you're going through, whatever hard things you're going through, I'm so sorry. And it's so not your fault. And you didn't do anything to deserve it. And like I said before, life's not fair. It's circus. And so I say, you know, I try to have a sense of humor through it, even though that's really fucking hard to do when you're in a really stressful, painful crisis moment, to have a sense of humor about anything, because it's really not funny when it's happening to you in the moment. It's not funny. But I like to have that spirit of that sense of humor about shit, because I feel like that's winning. I feel like that's winning. When I can make it something that I can laugh at, and then I'm winning. Because otherwise it's like it's like the universe is fucking laughing at me. Which nobody wants that. Nobody wants to start out with that spirit, you know. In one of the first lives that I did, I prayed out loud to my Father God in the sky. And it's so sad to me that that's gone, because that's really beautiful. Like, that's such an intimate moment. And I don't usually like share like my private relationship with my Father God with the world, but I did. And like, that was really beautiful that was documented. And I liked it when I saw it. I was like, holy shit. And I like put the timestamp of when it happened because I wanted other people to like see it. I was kind of like low key proud of it. Yeah, but I was just saying, you know, thank you. Just like thank you, like just like infinite times. Like thank you. Thank you for never giving up on me. And I started crying, you know. And I said, you know, thank you for always believing in me. And for showing and for letting me feel your love for me. And I do know how much you love me and care about you, and how much you love me and how much you care about me, because I feel it. I feel it in my heart and in my soul. And I know that if no other person in this whole world loves me, I'm still okay, because I know that you love me and I love you. And your love is that divine love. Your love is that supreme love. Your love is that everlasting love. You know, and I kind of just do, I kind of want to like keep that spirit alive, because that is so beautiful. It's like me like rejoicing and like worshiping and like just really thanking my Father God for that love. And I really do realize it's like so, for some reason, it's a toiom shit. It's a toiom shit, Christian. These men won't show me love on earth. My earthling father, these men that I'm limerent on because I really don't know what true love is with a man on earth. They won't show me love, even though I like work so hard. I try to earn it. It's like a whole shit. It's like a whole shit. I'm out of it now. I used to be a stalker in limerence, and everyone I loved blocked me. I've lived a I've lived a rich and varied life, Christian, and I'm not like ashamed. I like to gossip about myself. I like to tell little embarrassing little shits. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, and I think it's really different. I don't think a lot of people have had the kind of experiences that I've had. It's a very nuanced. I've gone, you know, I seem kind of like Rose from Golden Girls, you know. But like I've been in like some really kind of like seedy, sort of trepidatious social situations. Not to brag. I had an impromptu slumber party at a legitimate psycho killer's home. I should make a whole live dedicated to that. Okay, actually, yes. Okay, this coming Saturday, psycho killer slumber party, story time saga. Oh my god, fun. And like everybody wear your funniest PJs. And like, you know, maybe even because I feel like this, and I think that you two can relate. I think that you two can relate as women and probably lovers of true crime. This, it's a very American serial psycho killer look. So maybe I'll wear these. I'll put together a whole costume. Oh my God, Deja, okay, you know that video where I caught a reflection of myself, and the way that the light was hitting my face, the expression on my face, it was exactly the Mike Myers mask Halloween starring Jamie Lee Curtis. And I was like, oh my God, I'm projecting a psycho killer vibe. And I was like, I like to wear onesies sometimes, Dickies onesies. I do. And I was like, my hair, I was like, I better be careful. I'm projecting a psycho killer vibe. That's like the exact opposite vibe. that I want to project. That is so funny. That is so funny. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you. I love you. You know, I made some wishes on my eyelashes. So I think my wishes quota is like full for this hour. I love my like improv witchy shit. Like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yes, psycho killer slumber party. Who will survive? Okay? That's cool. That's cool. I fucking did that shit. And I was like a good little girl. I made straight A's and I was like a little teacher's pet in the first grade. But guess what, y'all? I totally had a dark side because one day I straight up, like in front of her face, it was some kind of magic. Maybe that was like my spiritual tech. I got up from my fucking desk. I saw a new pack of Crayola crayons and I was like, I have to have that. I fucking stole off my teacher's desk Crayola crayons shit and like did not get into any kind of trouble. I was like, holy shit, should I use my powers for evil? Should I be like a criminal mastermind? If I can steal and like the teacher doesn't, like, she still thinks that I'm like her little pet. like abusing, abusing my power as like, like this, like, favored student. Oh my God. I was being like a little Adolf Hitler, like abusing my fucking white ass privilege. See? I'm evil. See? I'm not some kind of, I have evil. A little 6-year-old. Boldly. Boldly. But it was like I was like invisible. Cause like nobody said anything. I stole the fucking crayons and went, sat back down. Nobody fucking said anything. I was like, am I fucking invisible? Did I just like freeze time and do some shit as a 6-year-old? And I loved at nap time. We would just lay our heads down on our desk like this at nap time and just be really quiet. And I wore a wristwatch and I could see the reflection of my eyes and my eyelashes. And it so reminded me of a horse's eye. And that made me really happy. I was like, okay, cool. Like my eye looks like a horse's eye. Like every day at nap time, like I would have that same like comforting thought. It might be like early OCD, but I really liked it. It was like a little ritual. I would look at my reflection. I would look at my reflection in my wristwatch of my eye. And instead of a Mike Myers vibe, it was a horse. It was a equestrian horsey vibe, which for a 6 and 7-year-old girl, that's like the shit. You know, superpower. Florida woman. She's got some equestrian. There's like some equestrian elements. Because when I was 11 years old, I had a friend. Her dad lived in this really country ass place in the middle of Florida. It's called Brooksville. And her neighbors were always doing target practice and shooting rifles and shit. And her dad had these 2 cool ass horses. So there was a lot of horseback riding. He did some tricks. He was trying to teach me how to do some fucking rodeo tricks and shit. I wasn't scared of that shit. I tried. We did it. He did that shit where the horse runs in a circle and he picked me up like by my pants, picked me up and threw me on the back of the horse and we did that. No injuries. We were doing horse stunts when I was 11. So Florida woman has some equestrian elements. I kind of feel like maybe she should, when she's traveling time, it should be sort of like a mental horse, going through the space-time continuum. And like maybe when she's haunting nightmares and doing mental telepathy, it'll be sort of like this Pegasus through the cosmos to Jeff Bezos. How you doing, Jeff Bezos? Did you miss me? Were you like so delighted when you saw Emily being like you and deleting all my normal sister fun world shit? Were you like I bet you were, Jeff. I bet you were. But guess what? I'm going to still do the same shit, Jeff Bezos. I decided it's true. You do feel like you're so lacking and bankrupt and impoverished in spirit. You want to hoard up all this filthy, dirty blood money. You want to get in the Department of Defense. You want to get into my house. You know what that reminds me of? Have you know Nirvana? Rape me, Jeff. Rape me, my stranger. Am I the only one? I know I'm not. Am I the only one? Of course not. Am I the only one? It's literally anyone that has any kind of a device with any kind of camera or anything, any kind of listening. It's spy equipment, and with the Patriot Act, we're being surveilled. Am I the only one? Hate me. Hate me, Bezos, Bob. Hate me. Rape me again. Am I the only one? Liar. Am I the only one? Absolutely not. Am I the only one? No. Am I the only one? See? You can delete the fucking lies, but this bitch is still alive. And I still sing, don't I? Deja Figueroa dissected a cow's eye when she was in school. And she says it's interesting how a cow can see at night. It's like they have night vision, like kitty cats. Horses. Horses are mad scared at night. That's why they're called nightmares. Mare, a female horse of a mothering age. Nightmare. Not fun. Not a pleasant ride. Remember Dez? Remember Dez on the res? Well, Deja, maybe you weren't. You were probably digmatized in that live. You might not have been on that live with Dez on the res. That was so fun. That was so fun. Brandon CC, I know you'll be back, honey. I really don't believe that you're leaving me. Maybe you're like grieving and mourning. I don't know. Brandon CC, I'm a little bit scared that you might be like mad at me for not changing the password and for like losing normal sister fun world. I hope you're not like mad at me. But if you are, I totally understand. I want to talk to you about it. I don't want to not be friends. But I can't control what you do, Brandon CC. You know, and I can't control like how you feel or anything. But I guess I just want to know, you know? Like, please don't ghost me. is basically what I'm saying. That's really cool, Daisha. Thank you so much for talking about that. Kristen Shaw, in her interview on the WTF podcast with Mark Maron, I'm a big fan of that podcast, as you know, Daisha. Kristen Shaw grew up on a dairy farm, and so she has a lot to say about cows. She loved her cows. She kind of had this moment where, like, she realized, like, she thought she had kind of overestimated her cows. She thought that they were, like, really advanced. She kind of realized, like, intellectually, she had, like, really overestimated them intellectually, which I think is kind of cute. I've always loved cows. I don't know if I've ever told you this, honey. I was like 9, 10 years old. Cows were like my favorite thing. I like knew everything about cows. The Jersey ones, the black and white ones, I like loved that pattern. I thought that was the coolest thing. That was like a God created, a natural created sort of pattern of an animal. I just love cows. I knew loosely that cows were really sacred and worshipped in Hinduism. I wish I knew more about it, but my upbringing with my father being a born again Christian, he was really like there was a lot of censorship of like any other belief systems or spiritualism or religions or dogma or anything. I didn't know about the concepts of reincarnation and polytheism, like actually, like in a very concrete way, until I was 16 years old. I'm so ashamed to say. And I was like, I remember being so offended. It's like when I learned that like they had all been lying to me about fucking Santa Claus. It was like that same shit. It was like these motherfuckers lied to me to control my fucking mind. These assholes. So that was sort of the start of my spiritual awakening. And I'm so glad it happened for me. And I also loved that in 1991, David Lynch was talking about an FBI agent who was thinking about Tibet and the way that they use their intuition and dreams and the right side hemisphere of the brain and shit. And I was watching that and I was being influenced by that, like subconsciously. I just think it's cool that David Lynch fucking infiltrated. And like he opened my mind before I even knew what he was doing. That's cool shit. And then as an adult, I came to him and I was like, damn, you're all into like transcendental meditation. Like you're like really like so deep. You're like so deeper into it than I am. I never knew that you knew all about this shit. You like know more about this shit than I do. And I've always liked your art. But now I'm really digging your spirit, David Lynch, in a major way. David Lynch said, prayer is speaking with God, while meditation is receiving and listening from and listening to God. That's cool. That's cool. I also think of prayer as sort of a way to open the doors of my consciousness to the divine, to sort of say, I don't know what to do about this area of my life. Will you please go in here and do your thing? That's kind of the way I approach it. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You're the one who knows what the fuck you're doing. And I trust you. You know? Does that make sense? I don't know. But Daisha, I kind of just want, I'm really grateful that my spiritual, like your spiritualism awakened within you. That is so wonderful. That is so wonderful. Yes, Cece. Yes, yes. He invented that. Like, I love that. Like, I love him. He seems like such a he's like a co-creator and like a collaborator with me. And like I sometimes feel like he sees me and my vision more clearly than I do. I really hope he's not like mad at me. I really hope that he didn't have like, you know, like big dreams and a big vision for Normal Sister Fun World, and he kind of feels like I failed him. Like I let him down and I failed like all of Normal Sister Fun World. Like I could see how somebody could feel that way and how somebody could see that way. Everything. I want to talk about it, Cece. Like, please, please don't ghost me. I need a little reassurance, Deja. Okay, you don't think he's mad at me? Yeah. No. He's probably just got a lot of other stuff. Like, he's been going to the DMV, I guess. I don't mean to tell your business, Brandon. But, like, he's probably just, like, dealing with, like, getting his life, you know, like, straightened out or what the fuck ever, you know, solving his personal problems, doing his shit. So that's probably, you know, I'm not texting him. I was texting him that like I love him and stuff, and like I'm thinking about him and stuff and everything. I was texting him, but I kind of stopped because I don't want to put any pressure on him or anything. I want to just like put it out in the world and in the universe, like how much I just love him and how thankful I am for even having met him in the first place. I think he is a magical human being, a totally magical human being. And I love him. I love him. And I love Daisha so much too. Brandon Cece, we love you. We love you. And you know, honey, as long as I'm alive, and even after I die, honey, Normal Sister Fun World lives on. Normal Sister Fun World can never be killed. Mm-mm. Because Normal Sister Fun World is all of us. Normal Sister Fun World is you, Brandon CC. Normal Sister Fun World is you, Daisha Figueroa. Normal Sister Fun World is even Christian Shannon. Even though she didn't see any of the Normal Sister Fun World videos, she's here now. And Claire Hamlin really is the heart and soul of Normal Sister Fun World, if I'm being honest. That shit was mine. That shit was mine. And it's cool the way that all played out too. My interview is kind of like a social experiment in real time. Normal Sister Fun World is sort of this document of toxic abuse. Oh, there goes a fire truck. Fun. I live right next to a fire station. I love it when they do, because they have every first Wednesday of the month. You all probably have this in your towns, in your cities too. Like a drill for like emergencies and shit, like disasters, twisters, weather emergencies, whatever, what have you, acts of war. on US soil. They have like it's like an old timey fucking siren, and it reminds me of a fucking siren head. The first Wednesday of every month they do the test, and it's so like exciting and apocalyptic to me. But yeah, Kristen Shannon, Molly Shannon is normal Sister Fun World. She is. Molly Shannon Superstar is so motherfucking normal Sister Fun World. Like, if you can get the spirit of that movie, you can totally get the spirit of normal sister. You can get the spirit of normal sister Fun. Well, this is still the same set. You know? Isn't this cool? Isn't this cool, Christian? Isn't this fucking cool? You know? It's like lo-fi. And I can do this. I just want to thank you all so much for vibing. It's like I'm the hardest working broad in pseudo show business. I'm working through all the pain. This is healing. This is motherfucking healing. And like, I am a comedian, but it's not a joke. I'm serious. This is serious matters of the heart. And Brandon CC, I really do fucking love you so much. And I care about you as a person so much. And I feel the same way about you, Daisha. And I know, Christian, like, it seems way too forward and like fake of me to say it. But I really do love you, and I really do care about you as a person. And I want to tell you that you are so essential. The world needs you exactly the fuck how you are, and like what you were made of. Like, Forrest and I have been kind of riffing on this idea. The personality is kind of like set. Like on our birthday, on the first day that we're here, the day that we take our first breath, when we take our first breath and the soul enters the body, in my spiritual opinion, theorem, that personality, it's like the same shit. Like me, I was me, fresh out of the womb. That's cool shit to me. Highly sensitive. Highly sensitive. And like totally attuned in a major way to ultra nonviolence. And like so sort of conscious of like this culture of ultra violence. And being like this hyper feminine spirit. And like this love goddess spirit. And like this total like earth goddess that's like so forgiving and just like loving and just wants to like vibe and shit. This like manufactured, hyper masculine, fear and shame based bullshit. Crowding up all the cool shit. And so I drop in from an affinity and I say, oh no, this bullshit isn't going to stand. I'm here to bust up these dysfunctional systems in a really cool, funny way. And I'm going to be really cute about it. And you're also really going to be really turned on. And you're not going to know if you're going to want to like fuck me or to like argue with me and like fight for your own life. But I know. But I'm not telling you. Because that's how I stay in command. It's my ASMR. It's my superhero ASMR. My sexuality is my superpower. Low-key. I've got like knowledge all about myself and shit. And that really gives me an advantage in this world. And I don't lie. tell the fucking truth. And I can back that up. And I talk shit. But I can. Because I earned that right. And I think that sex workers are the real soldiers of the United States of America. And I think that they deserve our support. And see how they don't even bitch and complain about shit. And like they're not even talking about where's our PTS counseling and therapy and shit. Their psychology is like intact. They're like made of steel. This proves that females really are strong as hell. Tell me, how does mother know? Daddy, I don't even know. Mother hardly knows. Baby, her brain just knows. Instincts that is fucking goddess shit. Can't argue with it. It's fucking magic. Wish I had it. I do. Fun. You know, if you haven't noticed, it's like hard for me to like be in performance mode and put on makeup. My makeup is like my pre-performance ritual. It's like hard for me. It's funny. But I'm going to do it because Brandon CC said do that shit. And so I'm going to do what Brandon CC told me to do because I believe in that shit. Like I believe in like artists building each other up and like other artists knowing better than me and like trusting in that process and shit. Thank you so much for the reactions. I can only imagine if I watched one of your lives, I would see the little creepers move. Oh my God, I love that. That's so creative. Dude, that is so cute. We can make that happen lo-fi. That would be so cute with like some string. And like I'm just talking, I don't say anything, and they're like doing little dances. Oh my God, how funny. I better not talk about something really important because nobody will be listening. Or maybe I should talk about something really important. Because then everybody will just pick it up subconsciously when they're really noticing the creepers. That's cool. Maybe I should try to kind of recreate my look. You know, when I was like 20 years old. But my hair is so different today. So different. I had like, it was like mid back. It was really long. I really did look like if I was wearing different clothes, like buckskins. Like I really did look like timeless. Like I could be from like 10,000 years ago. That's cool. That's cool. I've always kind of been like this flowy little woman and this toe I am. It's really true. That's cool. I'm an artist. I have a really rich imagination and a really rich inner life. And I don't think that that's a mental illness. I think that's like a skill. That's like a psychological skill to be creative and imaginative, make sort of associations that are almost sort of, they have elements of kind of fiction and theater in life. I do that kind of shit all the time. Thank you so much for that third like. I guess the makeup tutorials are the shit. That's cool. Mirror, mirror in my hand. Who among ye is attuned to the heart and soul of this land? Who among ye is highly sensitive and proud, but not haughty? I noticed some haughtiness. Haughtiness is sort of a common feature of the desensitized. One man, he was like, yeah, ultra violence or case for like he. I was all you are is you're just a living social program. You're like a living unpaid foot soldier in this patriarchy. That's lame. You've played yourself, biatch. You've enslaved yourself. You've enslaved yourself willingly. Why? I still want to do like a video response to some of those comments on Soft White Underbelly. This lady, she actually said, are we not technically free? I think she might have put the word free in fucking quotes. That is so sad to me. That somebody is like trying to like normalize the total abuse of power. Like saying it's okay. They totally fuck us over, but like we're technically free. So like resigned to like, you know, giving up, giving over your power, resigned to giving over your power. Oh my God, that is so sad to me. Oh, peekaboo, 1, 2, who is my boo? Brandon CC, I see you, boo. Peekaboo, honey, I love you. Namaste, divinity in me bows to divinity in you. I salute you. He is so cool. Brandon CC is so cool. He like has this gift. He like has this gift for spiritual technology. He's been able to make connections with Lonnie Love, this hilarious comedian. They're like besties. I guess it's like a thing, like people can just like shout out like through like social media or whatever, like I'm here and like yay. And then like the celebrity like will like be like, hey Brandon CC, and like she did that. And then like he did it for Kim K somewhere in Miami, and she like responded to him, but like I guess maybe I don't know. But like, dude, he like communicated and made 0 degrees of separation with like possibly like the most famous woman in the West, Kim Kardashian. And like all these funny ladies. Like he's able to connect with like all these comedians. And he loves me. And like I told him, I was like, you know, if you love me like this and you're like a magnet for funny women and shit, Like that makes me feel like really like confident and like secure about like my skill level. Like I kind of feel like, you know, like you knowing you, it kind of brings me into like a little higher echelon of funny ass women. He's like a spiritual liaison for funny women. I love him. I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait until we're together again, Brandon, Cece. I love you so much, for real. And it's not like stalker and limerent shit. It's true love revolution, true love revolution, true love revolution. Never went anywhere. True love revolution, true love revolution, true love revolution. It won't be televised. It'll probably be live streamed. True love revolution, true love revolution, true love revolution. Try to delete it. Try to delete it with your little computer. Try to use your little computer against it. That's funny. That's funny. In the face of the true love revolution. The beautiful face. The beautiful Afrocentric face of the true love revolution. The goddess. Holy Mother Africa goddess face of the true love revolution. You can't help but smile at her and be like, I fucking love you, bitch. Go on with your bad self. And she's like, yes. And konnichiwa, my Japanese editor. I know you're like in deep grief and mourning. It's like Hiroshima and Nagasaki of like normal Sister Fun World and like the internet. It's like so sad to see those gray play buttons with the 3 little dots. This video is unavailable. And like, what happened? What unholy crime occurred here on this hallowed virtual interweb space, time space? I know. But the thing about the land of the rising sun is that the dawn of a new Deja is the promise of the future. Does the world not carry on turning, Nippon? Even after the digital infanticide of normal Sister Fun World? And like, I wish that like I could be in Japan and like it's like a Japanese, you know, like a Japanese like television show, like all like fun and exciting. And they're like, normal Sister Fun World. And they're like, normal Sister Fun World, normal Sister Fun World. Woo, 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 choo, 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 choo. Like, I want to see like Nippon get like so jazzed about normal Sister Fun World. I can imagine it. And it's just as good. I still believe. No, but I just know that my Japanese editor that lives in a mountain and is like really punk and like really counterculture and like, you know, has that vibe. Hero dreams of sushi and like that like broken, weird ass, estranged relationship with your earthly father. Like I can totally relate, Nippon. I can totally fucking relate. And like you have to like still like be like dignified and like show the man his respect and like his dignity and all that shit, even though it's really complicated and shit. I totally get it. And that was like part of the reason that Normal Sister Fun World was even conceived, to talk about that shit, that ancient shit, you know, that shit that's really hard to talk about, you know. So I know that you like download it. You're gonna like wait for some like special day. Like maybe you know my birthday, and maybe you know that it's like not a lucky good day in Nippon, but like you're also like gonna do some cool shit and be like, you thought that your normal sister fun world was gone forever, but look what I have done for you. And I'm like, Japan, I don't deserve that kind of love. I'm not worthy. That kind of unconditional divine love. You see something in my art. You see something in my awesome content. You must be an Aries too. Konnichiwa. Domo arigato, Nippon. No, but for real. That is really sad. And like, she has all the control of it. She could make a cute video where it looks all professional YouTube shit. You know how she liked to do, Daisha? I'm going to talk shit about my former abuser. She liked to all like be like, oh, I'm a world famous fucking YouTuber with my cute little set. Meanwhile, my life is like falling apart. I have no relationships. But like my set looks so cute. And like my little dog is fucking here. You know what I'm saying? Normalize the dysfunction. She could do that. She could set up some shit. It like looks so cute. Has her little dog. Hey, it's me, Emily. You haven't seen me for a while. I've been going through some shit. You know, like she could do all that. Whatever. She's not. She's just being a villain and killing an awesome YouTube channel because of her untreated mental illness. But she's not going to get into Claire Hanlon. It's so sisterly. It's so funny. It's so funny. If she does figure out how to fucking get into Claire Hanlon, I'll just start all over again. I don't give a shit. I like that I have fucking 43 subscribers. That's amazing. And I just put out a video saying that I had my number of subscribers was the same age that Marilyn Monroe, the late great Marilyn Monroe, was when she met with the very mysterious and suspicious circumstances of her death. August 4th, 1963, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm so sorry. You were cutting chicken and the hot juice splashed in your eye. Silence is a beautiful thing to experience. Thank you, Anand. Ananda. Bliss. In Hindi. Silence is a beautiful thing to experience. One of my nicknames is Silence. And I've noticed in my art, my mic and shit, when I hit high notes, there's this silence. And I feel like the silence is part of it. And I also had this one live that I did called Clarity at Last, I think. Daisha saw it because I was trying to get her to read my lips and kind of transcribe what I said. But I shut off my mic when I'm talking about some really deep shit about alcoholism and abuse and dysfunction in my family of origin, my early childhood experience and shit, trauma. My mic is off and I am spilling my guts and like really talking about some deep family shit. And I did not know that I had shut my mic off and there was nobody watching to tell me that my mic was off. John, he's kind of been an original supporter, but I don't know where John is either. maybe John was kind of into the normalized dysfunction and the normalized abuse. And he was kind of into the whole story of me losing and failing. I don't know. But John in the very beginning, he seemed like, I don't know, he would send me little text messages and stuff, like saying, I like how you're doing concerts and like just singing on your YouTube lives. You know, like why not? Like that's something that you like to do. And you know, you're just by yourself, so you're being creative and you're just singing and stuff. Like I like it. But I don't hear anything from him anymore. I don't know. He wanted to do something creative with me about limerence. And he's an amateur filmmaker, and like he does all this type of shit. He like thinks about this type of shit. This is like his hobby. And he got me all fired up and inspired to do some shit, and I wanted to do some shit with him, some Toayom shit, and some Florida woman shit, anti-influencer shit around my area. And then like he's like MIA. I don't know. Life is funny. Life is really dreamlike. A few of my friends kind of didn't want to sort of hear me say that what I had experienced was abuse. Wanted me to like not call it that, wanted me to not call my abusers. Sort of like this, like, I don't know, maybe it's like a conflict in themselves, like about their own family and stuff. Like if they're kind of normalizing abuse in their family dynamic, and me saying I'm not gonna fucking do that anymore kind of maybe disturbs them or like disrupts them a little bit. And so they're like, wait, are you sure that they're your abusers and they're not your family members? Are you sure that this is abuse? That's what I'm kind of coming up against with a couple of my friends. Like, sort of like, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure that this is abuse? And could you possibly be crazy? There's like that. Like, are you sure that you're good? Like, do you need to go to therapy? Like, that's what I found, like this, like sort of like this kind of like forced psychiatric treatment and shit. That's like, it's like an aspect and like a facet of the toxic abuse. Yeah, but I've sort of noticed this sort of wedge between Forrest and I, and sort of this distance between Forrest and I, kind of like this sort of like, I don't know, boundaries that weren't there before. I don't know. I don't know why me. Like it seems like his boyfriend that's kind of abusive to him, or not his boyfriend, his ex, or I don't know what the fuck. But he's like abusive to him, you know? And so I guess like to sort of say that is to sort of say like I'm like normalizing abuse in my life, and so maybe that's why it's hard, because nobody really wants to admit that, and nobody really wants to kind of like consent to their own victimization in real time, right? When push comes to shove, when it really comes down to it, nobody really wants to consent to their own victimization in real time. That has to be some true shit. That has to be some true shit right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of happened for me. That kind of happened for me sort of like when I like kind of got sober and was really taking some deep looks at myself and my behavior and my patterns. Like started working out all the time, not drinking, lost a bunch of weight, looked really different, looked really like really healthy, because I was taking care of myself. It really reflects, my body really reflects like how I'm treating it. It really is sort of like this poem, or like it kind of like reads itself aloud. I really hate how alone and unsupported and without a network I feel in the society. And I don't like the sort of maybe the compromises and the trade offs and the sacrifices that I would have to make in order to get a community. Like, I don't want to be desensitized. I don't want to be fascist. I don't want to normalize ultraviolence. So I guess I got to be an outcast, cultivating a culture of ultra nonviolence within, creating a culture, a beautiful culture that like really fucking works in the long term from scratch. Creating a society from scratch, rooted in truthfulness and ultra nonviolence, centering children and the most vulnerable among us. And I say everybody is living with some form of mental illness. Nobody is without mental illness. And it's not a crime. It's not a punishable crime to have like an organic brain disease. That's not anybody's fault if they were born with an organic brain disease. It's not anybody's fault if they have the addict or the alcoholic gene in their brain and they drink enough times to flip that switch where they don't have any control anymore. It's really not their fault. I mean, it was a choice up to a certain point. It was a choice. But like, come on, is that person supposed to be like punished for life because they drank the numbers? For some people, it's just one. They said Chris Farley, like on his first drink, it was a beer and he just drank it all. He was like an alcoholic. It was like he was an alcoholic even before he tasted alcohol. And so that first beer was it. He drank it all in one gulp and he said, "Where's the next one?" And he was an alcoholic. So he wanted to drink and everything. But it's not his fault that he was such a severe chronic alcoholic, you know? And I guess I just kind of want for people to get real. Like, I just feel like Emily is just like hiding in shame and in secrecy And that's not living. That's not living. Because it's bullshit. Like, I know that you're just a liar. So it's just bullshit, you know? So like I'll be thinking that you're really doing something cool when you can show who you really are to the fucking world. But if it's really that bad, like if you really think that it's really that bad, I really understand. Like, you probably should, like, sort of be out of it or whatever. Like, you definitely shouldn't be like a person that's trying to teach anybody anything. Like, you definitely shouldn't be trying to like teach anybody about how to raise children or like relationship, marriage, counseling, or anything. It's funny. That really kind of does seem like, when I think back on Normal Sister Fun World, like Daisha helped me out. She really did. She tried to totally present herself as somebody who like knew what the fuck. She like didn't know anything about fucking counseling and therapy. She was just watching YouTube videos about attachment style and shit. But then she got a divorce. So she was like looking at that, I guess, to try to think about her relation. I have no the fuck idea. She's so disorganized. She doesn't have like clarity about what she fucking wants in her fucking life. Like, I realize that. Like, she was totally just like pretending. And like, it's not, you can't keep that shit up. It was totally not working. And like that whole thing about like, I said, I don't know if it's recorded anywhere that I'm going to go to the open mic night. It's probably not recorded that I said it, but I really did fucking say that, y'all. Then she like records her bullshit, brings it back to me. I'm like, I just want to say, like, I said that I was going to go do open mic nights, and I am going to go do open mic nights. She's like, me doing something has no bearing. Like, she's like acting, she's acting again. Like that, like she's the one in the position of power and authority with this open mic night, the stolen open mic night idea. It's so like just abuse. It's so fucking funny that I didn't see it at the time. I was like conditioned to it. I was like, it's kind of a little bit sadistic. And she's like, no, it's not. She's like totally like invalidating me and like gaslighting me. It's like, I think it's really weird. You stole my idea. I said that I was going to do that. And then you go and you do this. You like steal my idea and like come back and show me like in a sadistic way. She's like, none of that is true, Claire. Just like totally like invalidating. I'm telling the truth. I am telling the truth. But yeah. I was like, it's seriously my life dream to be like a professional stand-up comic. That's like my life dream. And she knew that. She knew that. And she said, I'm not a comedian. I have no dreams of being a comedian, Basically, she's like admitting like she's just fucking with me. She's just trying to hurt me and just trying to like scare me. Like someone else is getting closer to my goal than me or some shit, And so, she's like, I don't have any dreams of becoming a comedian. I say, well, then so stop, Like, if you don't have any dreams, why are you doing it? Stop. Like, stop. Because it's like, it's painful for me, you know? It's like not supportive of me. It's like the opposite of supportive. She says, I will not stop. And she has these eyes. Like, look at her eyes. But yeah, it's just like that. Like, first she says, I have no dreams. Then she's like, I will not stop. But okay, y'all, where's her awesome fucking world changing social and political commentary comedy? Where is even her amateur comedy career? Where is her circuit of open mic nights and her clubs and shit and her people, like her little supporters and her fan base and like all of her subscribers and like all of her shit? And where's her YouTube lives on Normal Sister Fun World? Like, I'm gonna bring this shit back. I'm the funny one here. Check me out. Yeah. Yeah, back, you know, back and better than before. She could totally do all that. She could totally do all that. But I'm saying you're not seeing that because she's a false ass bitch in florid mental illness. And all she can do is just like steal from me and like fuck with me and try to say that she's better at what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to be good at, which she's not. She's good at her own shit, but she doesn't focus on her own shit. She could be so much better at me at like all kinds of technology shit. She is so much better than me at like all kinds of technology shit. Does she use those skills? Not at all. Why not? All my skills, I'm like, how can I use my skills? How can I strengthen my skills? How can I get better? How can I minimize my weaknesses? How can I build up my strengths? How can I highlight my shit? I'm like always thinking like that. I am. I'm like extremely business minded. I know I'm a fucking bimbo and shit. I know. But I really am extremely business minded. I like really want to make in my way, my black swan ass, cool ass way. I want to make my way in this world. I know I can. And I know I'm not crazy. It's really funny how she's taken my total artist way and she said that I'm crazy. But like, I'm sorry, like, I don't have a history of like broken ass relationships. I don't. I'm divorced out of an abusive ass marriage, which I'm the proudest shit that I'm out of that. And it's not surprising to me that I would enter into and be attracted and be sort of conditioned to think that an abusive dynamic is some kind of like a love, like a family shit. And I actually did kind of make that shit work for myself for 11 fucking years. Zero debt. We had all this savings. I had like a really good career. I was really focused. I wasn't doing any illegal shit or any like no drugs or anything. I was barely even drinking alcohol. So like what I'm saying is like she has been living this kind of crazy life where she like doesn't have a job. She was like hanging out at her friend's house for like 10 years or something. What the fuck? I don't even know. Like and like I can't believe that my parents were like, yeah, that's totally normal and everything. But like I'm weird because I'm like out here, I'm like supporting myself, working like out in the world, making money. And she's just like doing nothing. That's like a sign of like a mentally ill person that can't like get a fucking job. But like it's just like, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom or whatever. But like, I'm sorry. Like, check her fucking track record. It's not like she was baking bread and cookies and shit. I went over there like a couple times, like sort of unannounced, that bitch was gone from her house for like hours, and her little child was like 3, and like her little child like had marker all over her, like all these stickers all over her bare skin, and like was dressed, like with knee socks and like no pants, like kind of that energy, and like just daddy's home, and like daddy's not really, like really like tending to the child. And so if I went over there unannounced and that was kind of the vibe, like that was kind of the vibe. So like that kind of absentee fucking mothering or whatever the fuck that was. DIY, like you like leave your child to like mother themselves. Like it's kind of like what my fucking mother did. So I get it, but like I don't agree with it. I don't do it. You know? That's not what you do. But like she was just like doing that. And she wants to now kind of be like, but that was totally normal. Like that's like totally normal to do. And it's like, no, the world's not just gonna say like yeah, your abuse and your neglect was totally normal because it was normalized. I'm talking so much shit. But I have kind of like a lot of resentments and a lot of beef because like really like I was so scrutinized for like I was doing really well, and she was just given like carte blanche and like just like this free pass for like this bullshit life, you know? That feels like a ripoff to me, but I guess that's just it. It's the sacrifice of being a fucking shiny ass diamond. We have all this pressure that the ones around us don't have. So they're not even lumps of coal. And we're diamonds. But like it's okay to be a resentful, shiny ass diamond in the grieving. I'm not going to be forever resentful or anything. I'm allowed to have these feelings and they're going to pass through. I just want to thank y'all so much for vibing with me. It's kind of a little bit of a different energy. It's kind of a little bit more knowing of like the gravity of it. Normal Sister Fun World was so like innocent and like carefree. And Ultimate Loving Circus is like we know what kind of bad shit can happen in this world. We know what kind of evil lurks in the hearts of little E's. What's up with that too? Like she has to be so different. It has to be a little E and it has to be a capital L. She said, it's not the real reason, but what I tell people is that it's a capital L for love. So I kind of got that for the True Love Revolution. Kind of got that shit from her crazy ass. But I realize she's just telling a lie. She's like, it's not really the reason that I use the capital L in my name. I just tell people that it's for love. What is it really, Emily? Lust? No. Leather? Ooh. Lick. Lichen. It's a capital L for lichen because you're such a nerd girl and you're like a really big fan of lichen. There's also like another, like a vampire. It's like a vampire meaning for lichen. And so you're like goth. Or no, lichen are like werewolves. Okay. All right. Yeah. That computes. And I have like a she-wolf shit. Lock me in a kennel for 3 nights out of the month. Don't let me out. I'm serious. No matter what. Lichen. Liposuction. Lipo. Lipids. The capital L is for lipids. Okay. Because they're like really fat and big. Lipids. Lily. The capital L is for Lily Rose Depp. Lily of the Valley. Aren't those poisonous? Oh, white oleander. Poison. Lead. Led Zeppelin. You always were a big Zeppelin fan. The L is for Led Zeppelin, isn't it? No, the L is for Lucifer. That was what you said. Oh my God, you said it's for love. It's fucking for Lucifer. You're such a bad bitch. You're so scary. You're so powerful. Yeah, but I realize it's kind of sad. Like I say to her, I'm going to be mildly abusive to my computer. And she says, is that going to make you feel really powerful and really in control? Kind of like a little leak, you know? She's abusive to me so that she can feel some sense of power and control, which she feels that she lacks. Because she knows she hasn't put the work in. And that's a really hard thing to face when you really are almost 50. And there's no denying that. And I realize she does want to take it back 35 years. She wants to take it back 35 years and be clear. At the age of 15, in those little nude character dance shoes. She bought like replicas of my character shoes. I had these nude character shoes. They're not like cute, like fashion shoes or anything. They're like for theater. But she like bought, I mean, I don't know. She didn't go to like a dance, like a Capizio and get like dance character shoes. But she bought designer shoes that have that same ass look. They're nude. They look like nude character shoes. Like she had like a vision from me at the age of 15 in high school in, you know, the chorus of my high school musical, The Pajama Game. And this green dress, like a specific line with like the pure waist and it tied in the back. She had this like, it's like a fucking replica. And I realized that. And like my joke about Donald Trump being this Bruce Wayne that gets this replica, this really believable, able to use, you know, his privilege and his money and his power to get this fucking Joker replica. So like she's like being this Bruce Wayne and like doing this impersonation of like what she believes to be like this cool anti-hero Joker. Like woman of the people. Someone who's not afraid to make a spectacle out of herself to serve a greater cause and a higher purpose. Like that whole shit. Like the divine clown, like the fool. She's like putting that on. That's amazing to me. I never saw it. I never saw it. That's so sad to me. Because like she's trying to get in a time machine, you know? And like be what she sees as somebody that just like everybody loves so easily except for her. Everybody loves so easily except for her. But she wants to be that. That is so sad. That is so sad. And like she needs to try to tell me, you know, like her expert level. Cause like I tell her, like, oh my God, you're so good. Like your style, your presentation. I was like, you're such a natural. She was like, being a teacher, you know, you kind of get used to just sort of standing in front of people and just riffing. But like I really would like to know like how much teaching hours she really has under her belt. You know? Like in her routine, she's not talking about being a teacher. She's talking about being a driver for like a ride, you know, a ride share company. And like it occurs to me that like the work is like really like low level, you know, like kind of like menial labor. Like my mother really always kind of like criticized me for having work like that, but it was kind of necessary for my survival. Like I kind of had to take that kind of work. And my mother would really criticize me, like that's beneath you or whatever. But like with Emily, it's just, and like even in, you know, I was a waitress when she was saying that she was doing like web design, but she wasn't really making any income or something. I don't know. But I was like a waitress. Making like steady cash, you know, and she was like really concerned. I remember she was like, you got to get like a bank account and like not have all this cash just sitting around because it might attract people. She was probably thinking like, you know, I'm gonna fucking steal this shit. She was like really focused on like my money, like what was happening with my fucking money, put like a savings account. But like for some reason, she was always the one that was like bringing me, and if I made a mistake in the math, she was like, I don't know, it's just like I don't know. But then I guess she was a waitress, like fucking like 20 years later. But it sounds like she was just like drinking on the job and like not being like I was being like a fucking successful waitress. Like I know like it's a waitress, whatever. It's not like a fucking high status job or whatever. But what I'm saying is that I was actually like really doing it and I was like I was making fucking money. I was really doing it, you know? Like I could really like support myself and save and like all that shit. But when she was a fucking waitress, she was drinking on the fucking job and it was like the restaurant like failed. So like she didn't fucking like do like a good job being a fucking waitress. She did a shitty job being a waitress is what I'm saying. Like but she just gets like this like my mother is just like, "Oh, she's so awesome." Ew. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, she just wants to fuck with me. She just wants to fuck with me and scare me and make me feel like I don't have solid footing and like solid footing in this world and shit that I'm really trying to do. Yeah. That's her kink. She likes, you know, getting off on me being scared and being unsure of myself and shit. That's so lame. And I can't believe that I subjected myself to it. I'm going through a lot of like self shaming and like self blaming, you know, because I do feel really stupid. Like I let myself be take advantage of, you know, it's like the victim's like lament, you know. And I realize like it's not really my fault. But I do feel, you know, I do like I'm an adult. I do feel like responsible, you know, like I was fucking scared, you know, of being on my own. So it was like I subjected myself to that shit because I was a coward. I probably could have done so much better. I did do so much better when I was just away from her on my own. So I kind of just wish that I would have just like felt that sooner and not be all caught up in the abuse. Because I was supplying her with a feeling of like success and progress. That's what I realized in my victimhood and shit. I was providing her with some kind of good ass feeling, which is so lame. Because I was giving myself the good ass feeling by like working hard and like doing shit and like proving shit to myself. I was giving myself the good ass powerful feeling. But then she was just fucking taking it from me by like scaring me and abusing me. She was getting that powerful feeling instead of doing good shit. You know what I mean? It really is like a fairy tale. And they're like experts at crazy making and gaslighting and normalizing abuse. And like I still don't even really think that they can really fully grasp that and fully admit to that. I realize I'm not really doing my makeup. I like my hair. I didn't do any blow drying or anything. I put in some different products. Like I have a styling cream. It's like a liquid kind of shit. And so I put it in and it kind of like helps my hair like kind of stand up. I like my hair these days. I like this short haircut and like the cuteness. I like this shit. It's real unique. You know, I like having hair that no other people have. You know, I like that shit. Well, it's been about 3 hours, and that's cool. Like that's cool that I kind of had a marathon. I've got 3 likes, and that's really divine. And I think that I will, y'all. I think that I'm gonna say good night, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, farewell, sayonara. I don't even know how to say goodbye in my mother tongue. Oh my God. And there's that whole thing about the Irish goodbye. You leave without saying goodbye. It's like this whole like kind of death, love thing. I love y'all. I love learning about shit with y'all. I love like peeling back the layers and shit. Being fearless. Y'all are cool shit. Stay shiny. You inspire me. I love you. We're doing it. We live in the eternal now. We live forever.